Welcome to the HR Spoonfuls podcast, brought to you by Andera HR, the home of helpdesk4hr.com and AI for HRhub.com, where you can find assistance from qualified human resources professionals and learn about all things related to the use of artificial intelligence solutions for your HR department. Now listen in as your AI-driven hosts, Alex and Ivy, discuss interesting and current human resources topics, one spoonful at a time.
All right, let's dive into this employee recognition thing. Who doesn't love a good pat on the back at work? But it's more than just that, right? It's about creating a culture where everyone feels valued, motivated, ready to, really bring their A game. I've gone through that ebook you sent over, Recognizing Employee Excellence, and I gotta say, my head's buzzing with ideas.
Yeah, it's not just about those good vibes, although, don't get me wrong, those are nice. The research is really clear on this. Companies with strong recognition programs, they just do better. Higher productivity, they keep their employees longer, you name it. It's like everyone's looking for that secret sauce, right?
Totally. And one thing that kind of jumped out at me in chapter 1 was that whole appreciation versus recognition thing. I always thought those were basically the same, but they're not, are they?
Subtle difference, but it matters. Think of it this way. Appreciation is about the person. Recognition is about the action.
Okay, so like you're a great team player versus that presentation you rocked totally landed us that client.
Boom. Exactly. One's about inherent awesomeness, the other's tied to a specific win. And psychologically, different needs being met. Remember Maslow's hierarchy?
Vaguely. Something about needing snacks and then needing hugs.
Less, basically. We've got these layers of needs. Recognition hits those higher levels, esteem, self-actualization. It's not just a paycheck. It's feeling valued, respected, like your work makes a difference.
Like that story in the ebook about Mrs. Johnson, the teacher who was this close to quitting, then her school does this whole tribute to her impact on students.
And bam! Goes from burnt out to reignited.
Right.
All because they recognized her contributions. Made her feel seen, like she mattered.
We all need that. But okay, let's get practical. Chapter 2 digs into different types of recognition, and I was surprised it's not all about bonuses and plaques.
Right. Those have their place. But man, the power of the non-monetary stuff. Peer-to-peer recognition, for example. Just colleagues acknowledging each other.
So it's not just the boss saying, good job. It's the whole team being like, dude, we see you crushing it.
Exactly. Builds camaraderie, fosters this environment of support. And of course, manager-to-employee recognition is huge.
Oh, yeah. Getting that nod from your manager, that hits different. Not just about climbing the ladder, but feeling like, okay, they're paying attention. My work matters to them.
Exactly. Shows they see your potential, right? They're invested. But let's not forget team-based recognition, too. Got to celebrate those wins together.
Especially these days, nobody's an island. Hitting those team goals, high fives all around. But you know what I think it's missed a lot? It's those smaller wins, those milestones along the way.
The unsung heroes of progress.
It's like we're so busy trying to climb Mount Everest, we forget to enjoy the view from base camp, But those little wins, huge for morale.
Totally. And the ebook had some great examples, like celebrating when a project launches, even if the big marketing blitz is later, or hitting his sales target early. Doesn't have to be a party every time, but even just, hey, awesome job, team, goes a long way.
Yeah. It's like that feeling of, okay, we're moving forward, we're in this together. Okay, side note, can we geek out for a second about the brain stuff? Chapter 1 mentioned dopamine, like the science behind why recognition works.
Oh, yeah. It's not just like a feel-good thing. There's some serious neurochemistry happening. Our brains on recognition.
Yeah.
Dopamine explosion, pleasure, motivation, all that good stuff.
So it's literally addictive.
Basically, it's the same system that lights up when we eat chocolate, listen to our favorite music. It's rewarding.
So we're hacking the brain for happiness and productivity. I'm listening.
Right. And that instant feedback loop. Key. That's why praising someone right when they do something awesome is so much more effective than waiting like 3 months for a performance review to say it.
Makes sense. Okay, chapter 3 was dense. All those types of rewards. And I'll admit, I always get tripped up on like extrinsic versus intrinsic.
Don't worry, you're not alone. It's a brain twister. Think of extrinsic like the external goodies, right? Bonus, promotion, that corner office everyone wants.
All fancy stuff.
Exactly. Now, intrinsic, that's the feeling inside. Accomplishment, mastering a skill, knowing your work has an impact.
Yeah.
The deeper stuff.
So extrinsic is like the trophy, but intrinsic is like the feeling of earning the trophy.
Nailed it. And while everyone loves a shiny trophy, intrinsic motivation. That's what keeps people going in the long run. It's finding joy in the work itself, not just chasing the next reward.
Which, speaking of wellness-based rewards, that felt new. Like the ebook was really pushing that.
It's recognizing that employees aren't robots, right? They've got lives, they've got stress, and their well-being totally impacts their work. So think gym memberships, meditation apps, even just encouraging healthy habits.
Like Enzo from the ebook, that programmer who was fried. Then his company started doing those on-site yoga classes.
And suddenly he's coding Zen Master, more productive, less stressed. It's not about being the fun company. It's about, hey, how do we actually support the humans who work here? Everyone wins.
Okay, chapter 4, things get real. Building a recognition culture. And I like that it wasn't just an HR thing. It's got to be like company-wide, right?
100%. Starts with leadership.
Yeah.
HR sending out e-cards is nice, but if managers aren't living it every day, full flat.
It's like that saying, culture eats strategy for breakfast or something, right? The best recognition program in the world doesn't matter if it's not genuine to how you actually operate.
Exactly. And it can't be all serious either, you know?
Yeah.
The ebook talked about fun. Like, bring some playfulness to it.
Oh, like those companies that have those awards ceremonies, but they're themed, like super goofy, or even just a monthly shout out with funny awards.
Exactly. Keeps it light, gets people excited, shows you value their personalities, not just like their output, you know? But it's not all about being silly. Chapter 4 also got me thinking about recognizing the stuff you can't measure.
You mean like leadership, innovation, that employee who's always going above and beyond, even when no one's watching.
Yes. Metrics are important, but they don't tell the whole story.
So how do you measure that? Like, does the boss carry around a good vibes meter or something?
Alas, it's definitely an art. But think about it. Who's mentoring new hires? Who's bringing fresh ideas? Who stays calm during a meltdown and keeps the team grounded? Those are the folks who deserve some love, even if it doesn't show up on a spreadsheet.
Totally. It's about their impact on everyone else. Okay, another interesting thing. The ebook talked about offering more responsibility as recognition.
Oh, huge one. For a lot of people, a new challenge, a chance to really stretch themselves. Way more rewarding than, like, a gift card.
It says, we trust you, we believe in you. That's powerful.
Shows you're invested in their growth, not just do this thing and I'll give you this other thing. Speaking of growth, okay, Leanne, that hotel manager story, chapter 4, she's my new idol.
The Hospitality Heroes program. One, that name is brilliant. But two, what she did was so smart. This whole system for recognizing employees who went above and beyond for guests. Genius. And then she took it even further, didn't she? Promoting Mia, the housekeeper, to like a wellness coordinator.
All right. Talk about recognizing potential. Leanne saw that Mia was amazing with people, not just like fluffing pillows.
Yeah.
Created that opportunity for her. So cool.
Love it. Okay, so we've covered a ton, but I bet some folks listening are thinking, okay, this is great, but how do I put this into practice?
Totally. Chapter 6 gets into the nitty-gritty, strategies, tips, all that.
The actionable stuff.
And the biggest thing for me was recognition. It's got to be personalized. What motivates one person might not do a thing for someone else.
It's like that saying, one person's trash
is another person's treasure. Yeah, exactly. Some people, they crave public praise. Others, mortified. Some are all about gifts. Others want flexibility. Know your team.
Especially these days, right? Remote workers, hybrid schedules, the whole thing. How do we make sure everyone feels the love when they're not all in the office together?
Chapter 6 had some good ones. Virtual shout-outs during meetings, online recognition boards so everyone can give props. Even just scheduling those one-on-one check-ins with remote folks so they know you're thinking of them.
Oh, and social media. Can you imagine your company bragging about you on LinkedIn? Confidence boost right there.
Free PR, too. But like anything powerful, right? Got to use it wisely. The ebook talked about guidelines, keeping it genuine, all that.
Yeah, you don't want to force someone into the spotlight if they're camera shy. Speaking of spotlight, more about Felix, that ski resort owner. Chapter 6, he seemed like he got this whole recognition thing.
Felix was amazing. He knew it wasn't a once-a-year thing. It was woven into everything. They had the Mountain Star Awards, a big formal deal. But he also really pushed those everyday moments of appreciation.
Which reminds me, it's not just how you give recognition, it's when, right? Timing is huge.
Oh, yeah. Chapter 6 and 9, big on that. Timely, specific feedback. Think about it. You nail a project, you're pumped, and then crickets. Demoralizing.
But your manager sends you a quick email right then. Amazing presentation, you killed it. Totally different vibe.
Right, and specific is key. Good job is fine, but that report was so well researched, your data viz skills are killer. That tells you they really paid attention.
It's valuing the effort, not just the outcome. I've been guilty of this, holding back praise because I don't want to overdo it. Like if I'm constantly cheering, does it lose its power?
100%. Chapter 10, recognition fatigue. It's real.
Like those participation trophies they give kids just for showing up?
Exactly. It makes the actual achievements feel less special.
Okay, last thing, budgets. Because I know a lot of companies hear all this and are like, we can't be throwing bonuses and spa days around every week.
Valid concern. But Chapter 10 made a great point. Money helps, but it's not the only way. Some of the most meaningful recognition costs nothing. Remember Maggie from Country Brews?
The coffee shop owner, right?
Tiny budget, but she built this amazing culture. Barista of the Week, handwritten notes. They'd celebrate each other by inventing new drinks. It was about heart, not budget.
So good. It reminds us we can all find ways to celebrate each other. This whole deep dive has been incredible. I'm walking away with so many ideas.
Me too. And it all comes back to that human thing, right?
Yeah.
Wanting to feel seen, appreciated, like we matter. It's not just good for employees, it's good for business.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, listeners, what are you going to do with all this? Get creative, have some fun, and let's make some recognition magic happen.
Thanks for listening to HR Spoonfuls. For more episodes like this one, drop by helpdeskforhr.com or AIforHRhub.com and subscribe to our newsletter to receive HR updates and notices when new podcast episodes are posted. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and will join us again soon.